The Nightbeat starts right now.
Dozens of Texans trying to make it back home after being stuck in Israel when the fighting broke out. We're going to show you what they're going through and also tell you what travel is like around Israel, just in case you have family there.
Seasonal sickness is here. Tonight we hear from experts about the latest wave of illnesses we're seeing right here in San Antonio and what you can do to stay healthy.
But first, we're going to start with the weather. Yes, you could be dealing with a little hiccup on your way to work tomorrow.
Adam Caskey standing by with the possibility of a foggy morning. Adam?
Yeah, and that's the hiccup tomorrow. Some reduced visibility and overall dampness again, but not really rain, just reduced visibility, and even going to cause some damp roads. But we are seeing that the visibility could be down under a mile at times throughout the morning commute tomorrow. This is 6 a.m. Futurecast even has visibility at about a half a mile all around Bexar County. The fog is slowly developing tonight and will continue to do so up until sunrise tomorrow, and then it dissipates by 10 a.m. The clouds slowly lift and dissipate, and then I think by the noon hour we'll start to get a little bit of sunshine, but it's not going to be until 3, 4, 5 o'clock till we really have more of a clear sky. 67 in the morning, 87 and clearing out by the afternoon. We've got the eclipse to talk about, the updated eclipse forecast, and a cold front, what it means for your weekend in just a bit.
We'll see you then, Adam. Thank you. Tonight, Israeli Defense Forces say they are currently conducting a large-scale strike on Hamas terror targets in the Gaza Strip. That is according to an IDF social media post. This as the death toll rises following this weekend's attacks, with 22 Americans among the several thousand killed in Israel and Gaza.
Now, the terrorist group Hamas is still holding people hostage. An Israeli military spokesman says that Hamas should release those hostages if they want to, quote, come out in any way from this conflict alive, end quote.
President Biden has also said the U.S. is committed to rescuing American hostages being held by Hamas. Tonight, the Jewish Community Center here in San Antonio is taking precautions in light of what is happening in the Middle East. In a Facebook post earlier today, CEO Carissa Heiss announced the closure of the east entrance and walkway leading to the JCC campus for the time being. The post citing an abundance of caution. Those changes will be effective as of tomorrow morning. And the support keeps coming in for the victims of the Israel-Hamas war, with local leaders condemning the violence. For Commissioner Grant Moody, it is personal.
That's right. The former Marine was deployed to the Middle East to fight terror. He also visited Israel in 2018, and he keeps in contact with all the people he met along the way.
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And that's exactly what we're seeing, in Israel today.
Now, tomorrow, the Jewish Federation of San Antonio is planning to ask the community to support those in Israel.
A travel warning being upgraded tonight. The U.S. Department of State raised the travel advisory level for Israel to level 3. Level 3 means can reconsider travel to the area. Travel to Gaza is still under level 4 tonight, a do not travel advisory. More than 50 Texans are now safe after being stuck in Israel during the ongoing conflict. And those are just the ones we know of.
That's right. The night team's Avery Everett, who's right here, joins us now live at the San Antonio International Airport after speaking with both travel groups who were in Israel when it declared war.
So both of those groups were in Israel when this all started on Saturday. Now, a couple of days later, some of them are still trying to make their way back. With no direct flight between the Middle East and San Antonio, it's a tough task to travel back home.
And then they came down to Jerusalem and taking day trips out.
Travel agent Alice Petrie says she plans for the unexpected.
Oh, absolutely.
But what happened over the weekend in Israel went unwritten.
A lot of things have to change before anybody goes back.
She had a trip of 40 people from San Antonio traveling through Israel when Hamas fired a wave of rockets. Petrie says as soon as she heard, she headed to her computer.
Right away.
12 days of travel cut short, and her passengers needed a new plan.
They were going to take a bus and then cross the Allenby Bridge into Jordan and just go straight to Amman.
A similar journey for the team of 19 from Concordia Lutheran Church. They were in northern Israel for an archaeological dig.
There are military aircraft flying overhead constantly, and there are all kinds of things that are happening.
Senior Pastor Bill Tucker sent us this video. His group now is in Jordan, finding new flights to return to Texas.
We have some of our folks who are able to get flights to fly out as early as tomorrow, and then there will continue to be folks who are flying out, groups of our people who are flying out and flying home each day.
Multiple airlines have already canceled flights out of Tel Aviv, home to Israel's largest airport. American and Delta Airlines have suspended flights through the month and say they're monitoring the situation. Petrie says to get her group of 40 back, it took quick thinking.
We've got 8 seats here, or we've got 2 seats here, or we've got 3 seats here. So they pieced it together.
All of these Texans are said to be safe and traveling back, but the unknown of what's to come in Israel and Gaza remains.
That travel agent tells me that that group of 40 was supposed to have a direct flight on their original flight home from Jordan to the United States and then back to San Antonio. But with the rebooking process and so many people wanting to leave Israel, some had to leave out of Egypt and others out of Turkey. Reporting live, I'm Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Now, a music band that performed in Israel is having a concert in Corpus Christi, and guess what? They want you to come. Have you heard of Gen Verde? It's an all-female band, 19 women from 14 different countries, and their music is all about unity, peace, and love. It's actually a message that one of the members says the group brought when it played in Israel.
We had young people of different religions who participated. There were Christians, Muslims, and Jews. And at the beginning, we weren't sure how it was going to go because of the tension between these groups. But we realized as we went ahead how powerful the arts can be as a means of building dialogue.
Yeah, and that's Gen Verde right there this week. Gen Verde has been in Corpus Christi for a performing arts camp through the diocese there. And on Saturday, again, it's holding a free concert for everybody. That's going to start at 7 p.m. And we have more information on the event on our website, ksat.com.
Turning now to national politics, House lawmakers could vote on their next speaker tomorrow. GOP representatives nominated Louisiana lawmaker Steve Scalise for the job today, but he must win on a floor vote. Scalise is currently the House Majority Leader. The House is adjourned until noon Eastern tomorrow. Back here in Texas, an Austin murder suspect accused of trying to escape deputies is back in custody tonight. According to several media outlets, Caitlin Armstrong ran away from Travis County officials this morning. Armstrong reportedly took off as she was being escorted from a doctor's appointment, but only made it about a block before she was caught. The 35-year-old is scheduled to go to trial for the murder of cyclist Anna Mariah Wilson later this month. Last month, a Houston teen was suspended from school for his hair. His family sued the state of Texas, citing the Crown Act, which outlaws discrimination based on hair. That teen's school district now says Darryl will be removed from in-school suspension and sent to a disciplinary alternative education program. This all over the length of his locks, which the district says violates their code for the length of boys' hair. The school's principal says Darryl will go to the program for more than a month for failing to comply with campus and classroom regulations. The family's lawsuit is still pending.
On a lighter note now, some exciting news for San Antonio International. The airport now adding an 8th nonstop flight. It's an international destination, and that's Torreon, Mexico. San Antonio International is going to be one of 2 cities with nonstop service to TRC. The airline Viva Aerobus is going to begin flying to Torreon on June 1st of 2024. Now, Torreon is now the 5th city in Mexico that you can reach directly from San Antonio. Okay, but this here is where you want to be from WOS Fest. It is back at Hemisphere Park, and it's later on this month. It is the biggest Dia de los Muertos festival in all of Texas. More than 100,000 people came here last year to be a part of it. And now that Civic Park is open, organizers say that it has a lot more space for ofrendas, local art vendors, and also live music. Now, WOS Fest is happening October 28th and 29th, and if you can't make it, KSAT is going to bring you the best parts of the celebration right here on KSAT on November 1st at 8 o'clock that evening.
And looking ahead to this weekend, happening on Saturday, KSAT, along with our community partners, are sponsoring this year's Light the Night event to support the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Registration is free and open to everyone. It is happening this Saturday over at Hemisphere. Our own Lee Waldman will be the MC this year. Festivities begin at 6. The walk will start around 7:15, followed by more festivities. Just scan that QR code on your screen for more information.
Coming up, chances are that you or someone you know has gotten sick this fall, and health experts are weighing in on the latest wave of seasonal illnesses that we're seeing and also how you can stay healthy. Someone has to win it eventually, so why not tonight? $1.73 billion. That's what's up for grabs tonight. By the way, this is the second largest Powerball jackpot ever. Since June 19th, there have been 35 drawings, no winner. But hey, tonight that can change. So without further ado, here are your winning numbers. They're on your screen. They're 22, 24, 40, 52, 64, and 10 with a multiplier of 2. And yes, friends, good luck. You're going to need it.
Have you noticed a lot of people around you getting sick lately? It may be the changing weather, allergies, or even the arrival of flu season. The Nightbeat's Patty Santos talks to doctors about how to ensure you don't end up in the hospital.
Flu season is approaching.
I work at the hospital and it's very contagious. You can get it yearly.
Baptist Health System nurse Jovi Axman is gearing up to come face to face with those unlucky patients who end up in the hospital because of complications from the flu, COVID, or other illnesses.
Yes, I work at PCU floor, so it's a sick era floor.
In late August and September, we have actually had people who are pretty sick being hospitalized with COVID, and some of them, with fatal cases.
Infectious disease doctor Dwayne Hospenthal says many of those hospitalized with viral infections had other risk factors. He says symptoms for the latest strain of COVID are now more like the flu, with chills, fever, and body aches. Hospenthal says those who are immunocompromised or at high risk with asthma, chronic lung disease, should not wait to get protection.
Influenza shots are out there for the season. People should be getting those. COVID vaccine is available, both the RNA vaccines, the Pfizer and Moderna are available, as well as the non-RNA vaccine.
And he says if you're already sick, stay home.
What can they try at home? What have you known to home remedies that can help them feel better or get better sooner?
Home remedies really are just what your mother told you. Stay hydrated. If you're not eating well, hydration with something with some electrolytes in it is probably better. Chicken soup.
The Center for Disease Control tracks flu numbers by week, and this is where we are right now. We're in the green, which is a good thing. We're very low numbers, but in the coming months, we're probably going to move up to the more moderate high numbers. That's what happened last year. Now, between October of last year to September of this year, Texas reports 12 children died because of flu complications. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Stay healthy out there. You want to make sure you are also taking care of your eyes when you look up at the solar eclipse this Saturday. If you don't have the proper eye protection, as we've been telling you, experts say you could end up with permanent eye damage. We have more information posted for you right now on our website. Just look for the Eclipse Authority section on KSAT.com. Big thing happening this week.
Yes, and a lot of people are making plans. So talk to us, Adam, about that.
Hey, you've got a friend coming in from New York, is that right?
Yes.
All the way.
I mean, super excited. I was surprised, too. I was like, they made plans like a month ago?
Exactly, because people are planning around this. And then April 8th is going to be an even bigger deal. We'll talk about why and more about that once we get through this one. But keep in mind, coming up this Saturday, late morning, we've got the solar eclipse. So quick refresher on what's happening. We've got the Earth, the moon, the sun shining on the Earth. Every so often, the moon will pass right in front of the sun, and it's going to block out the sun to 90%. So only 10% of the typical light, which is still enough to burn your eyes and cause eye damage if you were to look directly at it. And that's also going to make it look a little dim outside, as if we were in the shade. Moon moving in front of the sun, so our view from here with proper eyewear would look roughly like that. You get the ring of fire around the moon, the annular eclipse. Annulus being Latin for ring, because we get the ring of fire. The total eclipse is different. That we're blessed to have in April. We'll get on that later on. But, here's the forecast for the upcoming eclipse. Now, I do anticipate some morning clouds, sunrise, and even a few hours thereafter. But once we start getting into the beginning of the eclipse, I anticipate most of those clouds to be out of here. 68 degrees, 10 a.m., clearing out for the peak of the eclipse, starting roughly around 11:50 a.m. in San Antonio, depending on where you are. At 74 degrees then. Overall, I think we'll have some pretty good viewing. The farther south you are and west you are of San Antonio, the more likely you are to have a little lingering cloud cover as the eclipse is underway. We'll have the updated futurecast as we get some high-res information starting tomorrow. So will it get dark outside? No, not with this eclipse. It'll dim as if you're in the shade. So it will be unique. It's just not going to get completely dark outside because of that 10% sunlight still around the ring of the moon there, the ring of fire. Let's talk about our headlines. If you take away anything from this, morning fog tomorrow, humid and near 90 Thursday and Friday afternoon, cooler fall-like refreshing weekend on the way. Today, the clouds kept us cool. 74 for the high temperature. That's 10 degrees below average. Now the low clouds are starting to fill back in and get lower and lower in the sky. That's going to lead to the fog and dampness in the morning. 70 degrees right now. Dew point is 66. That's one reason why we're going to see some of that fog in the morning. Dewies are well into the 60s, near 70. It's not warm or hot out, but you feel the stickiness in the air. This will help in the formation of that fog because of the flow coming off the Gulf of Mexico. Now, the cold front hits Friday, but we're not going to feel the changes until this weekend. Notice our futurecast, the drier, less humid air not hitting San Antonio until a little after midnight on Saturday morning. And then quickly thereafter, the humidity is swept away and our air dries out. So tomorrow still humid, 67 at sunrise, 87 in the afternoon. That's here in town. 92 Del Rio, 90 in Cotulla. 87 for the high in Gonzales, and overall will be, I think, well into the 80s for most of us by tomorrow afternoon. Friday, humid, right near 90 degrees with that sunshine. Yeah, the front hits on Friday, but the effects aren't really felt until we get into the upcoming weekend. 58 for the low on Saturday morning, and we're talking low temperatures in the mid-50s through the weekend and even all of next week. So we're finally getting into an extended stretch here where we can enjoy those crisp fall-like mornings and look at those high temperatures below average, a little bit closer to 80 degrees. How does that sound?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Tim,
that's what
complaints?
Finally fall. No complaints from this guy. Thank
What?
you, Adam.
All right.
All right, it will be an all-Texas ALCS.
And I'm probably going to get some complaints from the weather department on this one, right?
Let's talk about the dominance
of the Houston Astros. Yeah, see, I knew it. Kasky does not like that one bit. So the Astros are heading back to the ALCS, and I'll tell you what, they are going to be a tough out for sure. And how will the Spurs' potential come together on the court? Mary Rominger has that coming up.
'24? We did. We sang him a big happy birthday.
Back on October 11, 1999, Keldon Johnson was born. So today he turns 24, and he is still so full of energy in big board sports. All right, Houston and Minnesota, where the Twins were trying to keep their season alive in Game 4 of that ALDS. Bottom one, they get off to a good start when Royce Lewis hits a solo job to left field, and the Twins lead 1-0. But the Astros come back to ruin the Twins' night. Top four, tied at 1. Jose Abreu goes the opposite way. 2-run shot, and the Astros lead it 3-1. He's certainly on fire, right? Bring on Ryan Presley in the bottom of the 9th. He gets Max Kepler looking for the final out, and Houston takes it 3-2 to win the series 3-1. Houston is back in the American League Championship Series for the 7th straight season.
The staff was great. Urquidy was outstanding today. He gave us all he had. Everybody. I mean, this is a team win. And I tell you, I feel great for Press. This guy, you know, he's done it before. And hey, now me and Bruce Bochy need to battle.
The ALCS will feature Houston and Texas for the first time. Games 1 and 2 will be in Houston this coming Sunday and Monday. Games 3 and 4 and 5, if necessary, will go down in Arlington Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Times to be determined. Now, this is a best-of-7 series. In LDS, Game 3, Atlanta and Philly. Philly's first baseman Bryce Harper had himself a day, hitting 2 home runs and driving in 4. Now, during each home run trot, Harper stared down Braves shortstop Orlando Arcia, who got caught mocking Harper after his Game 2 base running error. Yeah, Bryce didn't like that. The Phillies roll 10-2, and they lead this series 2-1. The new generation of Spurs must love seeing Manu at practice. His mentorship for this young group is priceless. There's no doubt this year's team has so much potential. So the real question is, how will it all come together on the court? Mary Rominger has more.
A couple of days removed from Monday's preseason opener, the Spurs are focused on gaining more comfortability with each other in live game action as they approach their second preseason game against Miami this Friday.
Everybody pretty much can bring the ball up the court. I think our biggest thing is just going to be able to, if we can all play together. You know, at the end of the day, it's only one ball, so we all got to move, we all got to cut, we all got to make sure that the spacing is right, and that's just going to be our biggest thing. I think through these preseason games and obviously through the beginning of the season, it's just going to be an adjustment. You know, we haven't, even last year, me, KJ, Jeremy, all of us haven't really played together like that. So for us to be able to kind of get some continuity going, it's just going to be big for us, truthfully.
The way we're going to play this year, we're going to have so many different lineups. You know, we have a lot of guys that can contribute in so many different ways. And so just being able to try to, you know, build that chemistry right now. Obviously throughout the game, you know, you want to get out to a good start with that starting lineup, but then, you know, as the game goes along, there's going to be so many different lineups. And so just being able to, you know, get on the same page with one another right now, I think is our biggest key.
With that, Trey Jones says he's finding many ways he can still impact the game from the point guard position. From Victory Capital Performance Center, Mary Rominger, KSAT 12 Sports.
Thank you, Mary. CJ Stroud is the #1 ranked rookie after the break.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Houston Texans rookie quarterback CJ Stroud continues to shine. He led a touchdown drive Sunday in Atlanta to give his team the lead 19-18 with 1:49 to go, only to watch Atlanta come back to win 21-19. Today he talked about the difficulty moving on from a loss while also himself accountable.
Yeah, it's a mixture. I think, like I've told y'all before, like by Monday or Tuesday, I'm usually over the game and on to the next one. And in this league, that's what you have to do because the next opponent is just as good or even better. So for us, like we were like, dang, man, we did some special things. We need some things that we need to clean up. We shouldn't have been in that situation anyways. We should have scored more points. It is what it is, though. Like now we got to move on and play the Saints and take the good things that we did and make those better and take the bad things that we did and fix those things.
ESPN ranked this year's rookie class after 5 weeks, and they list Stroud at #1. They say, let's start with the fact that the first 186 regular season passing attempts of his career went without an interception. That's a new NFL record, breaking the old record set by Cowboys' Dak Prescott.
Fun to watch.
Yep.
Thanks, Larry.
We'll be right back.
A deadly house fire, 5 lives lost.
I love all of them so much. That day didn't feel real.
2 sisters struggling with an unimaginable tragedy.
I remember the day every single one of them was born.
For their mother, family was everything.
She did everything for us.
So I guess if we go back to Sylvia, how would you describe her?
Yeah, she's just a really cool person, and
Hear their loving memories and how they are helping them move forward by streaming the full story now.
Home was there.
Finally tonight, what did the Dallas Cowboys, Post Malone, and chicken tenders all have in common? Well, the three will come together in a brand new Raising Cane's restaurant set to open in North Texas for a one-of-a-kind experience.
One of a kind, and we really mean that. It's going to be complete with Cowboys paraphernalia, silhouette images of Post Malone, and a 32-foot star in the drive-through lane. It's going to open tomorrow in Dallas.
Bring your own face tattoos.
Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.